What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 29 of the Week in Review. My name is Sean, and on this week's show, we're going to talk about one game, show off a cool limited edition item, and then we're going to talk about what's new. Only one item of note to talk about this week, NCAA Football 2013. I went out and bought this game. It's the most recent / cheapest version of NCAA football games. EA Sports no longer makes them due to some sort of rights problem. They haven't made one in 5 years. And for whatever reason, NCAA Football 14, the most recent version of the game, is like $40 used. I was watching a Twitch stream where they were doing a mascot tournament, because you could play as mascots in the game, because that's super fun and interesting and kind of silly and goofy, and I really liked it. And I thought, man, I haven't played an NCAA football game in a while, so I'll go pick one up. So I did that, and I just played the Road to Glory mode, which is something that works well for me. You play as a single player, just yourself, you create a character. So I get to make like the dream hunk version of me, where he's like 6'3" and like super athletic and can throw football and all that good stuff, and like scramble around and run, and then throw back across my body across the field for heart-crushing interceptions that lose. I like this particular mode because I don't have to play on defense, and I think playing on defense in these games is typically pretty boring. And it just kind of keeps my interest and keeps me a little more focused on the game. The games also are shorter, and it's easier to get through a season, get to the bowl season, or get the Rose Bowl or the national championship or whatever with of course, the Washington State Cougars. The game plays well. I don't know, it's kind of weird because NCAA football games are just kind of like, sometimes the defense outplays the offense, like they run the routes better, and it just feels weird. And so I throw a lot of interceptions that I don't necessarily feel like they should be interceptions. Like the receivers don't always fight for the ball the way you think that they would, and sometimes linebackers make just absurd jumps and you think you've got it over them, and then they just jump up and go, yeah, no, that's mine, and it's an interception, and then I'm tossing a controller in the air going, what? And then I catch it, obviously, because I have amazing hand-eye coordination. Overall, though, the game plays well, and I only put, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 hours into it. I picked up some achievements, just enjoyed the Road to Glory mode, and remembered kind of why I like this game so much. You get to do like practices and work your way up to be the starting quarterback and that sort of stuff. So it feels good. It's a fun game. I really enjoy them, and I wish they would bring them back. But unfortunately, that doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime in the future. Maybe in the future I'll dabble in some of the other modes. I like the idea of the Dynasty mode, but I also don't really like the recruiting aspect of it. So I don't know. It's a whole mess. It's a game, though, that I really enjoy. So I'm sure I'll continue to play it intermittently, but this will be probably the most I talk about it on this particular show. Good game. The content on the show is a little bit light this week. We're only talking about one game. We're going to open an item here in just a second. And the reason that it's so light is because I was out of town for a wedding. I went over to the Winthrop area, and it was very nice, even though it was a little smoky. And went to a wedding, which was it was a good wedding. The ceremony was nice, and I enjoyed myself, and I thought it was overall a really great trip. I played 20 minutes of the Octopath Traveler prologue demo, and then promptly fell asleep for like 45 minutes, so I don't know, I stayed away from it. It was nice being out of town, not having any cell phone reception, and just kind of hanging out and relaxing and focusing on different things. So, I mean, only the one game, but the bonus aspect of it is my very lovely aunt went down to San Diego Comic-Con, and my cousin had contacted me and said, hey, there's this item for you I was thinking about for you. Would you be interested in it if I could find it? And I said, yeah, sure, that'd be great. Lo and behold, now the best wedding ever, because I got a gift just for showing up. I have this lovely item right here. It is a 7-inch Reptar, purple Reptar. He has a spoon. I'm looking at the camera here. I pointed the wrong way. He has a spoon in this hand and a bowl of Reptarios. I'm not 100% sure. But what's cool about it is that it's purple. And I should probably just pull it out of the box. So, this is by a company called Kid Robot, and I was curious. I should look up to see if you can get this in green, because it'd be cool to have both. So we'll pop it out of the box here. Oops. Nickelodeon. Oh my gosh, this box is really big, and I don't have a terribly large table. So we have it here. We have it here. Oh, that's cool. So here it is. There he is. He has his cereal, and he has a spoon, and just looks really cool. Has a good feel to it. Feels kind of squishy, and so look for this in the background of future episodes. Not exactly sure where, but he'll be there. And thank you again. Thank you to my aunt and my cousin for sending this on over. I forgot about this until I was talking about Reptar here. But speaking of Nickelodeon and Rugrats and that network in general, I actually read some comics while I was on the car trip over, and they are very, very good. So I bought the trade paperback for Rocko's Modern Life, which is the first 4 issues, I believe, of the series, and it's really weird and interesting and funny, and they nail Rocko's Modern Life, which is a super weird show. I've watched it recently. I don't remember it being that weird when I was a kid, but it is certainly a bizarre cartoon. Sometimes to the point where you look at it and you go, how did this make it for kids? It's just, some of the stuff is really, really odd. But of course, watching it now and watching it when I was 4, big difference. So maybe I'm noticing things that I didn't notice the first time. The other comic I read, I think I just read, the first issue and a half or so. I read this with my niece. Read Rugrats, and it's really, really great. It's updated and modernized in a way that makes sense, and the art is really great, and the stories are really fun, what I read so far, and I can't imagine that it's going to get any worse, but I really, really enjoyed this. So if you like comics, if you like the Nickelodeon stuff, Nickelodeon understands that millennials have nostalgia, and they understand it better than any other company doing it. And so they have cool comic series like Rugrats and Rocko's Modern Life and all kinds of toys and all sorts of stuff. So there's a little something that I forgot until just now. So definitely go pick those comics up if you're interested in them. I think they're great. Finally, here on the show, it's time to talk about the new and exciting releases of the week ahead. In theaters, Black Klansman is out, and I'm very excited to see that movie. I like Spike Lee a lot, and this movie looks absolutely fantastic. So very excited to do that. Hopefully that'll be this weekend. 3 big games, or 3 games of note, I think they're pretty big, come out this week. Overcooked 2 is out, and I can't wait to play that game. 4-player cooking co-op game. If you haven't seen it, go watch a video of it, and then you'll be like, man, I really should play this game because it's awesome. Overcooked 1 is great. This looks like a natural and smart improvement on the previous game. Granted, that's just from some gameplay videos I watched, but I can't imagine it being that much different. Madden 19 is out this week. It's Madden. It's a football game. There's long shot mode. That's back, which is cool. Looking forward to playing that. Probably rent that this weekend and at least play the long shot mode, maybe a couple of games, try and grind out some of those achievements. And finally is kind of the most hit or miss game. Like, I can't really tell if it's going to be good or not good. We Happy Few is out. It's been in some form of development hell for the last 3 years. They showed trailers for it for a long time. They released a game preview version that was super weird and didn't match up with what they were showing or what their final product is going to be. So it's been kind of a weird road to this release point. But I am looking forward to trying it out because it has a very interesting visual style, and I think the story could be interesting if given the proper treatment. It could be something fresh and fun and interesting. 2 movies on Blu-ray. 1 is Revenge, which is quite literally a revenge movie, and number 2 is Low Life, which I didn't know anything about until I saw it, that it was releasing today, and then I went and watched a trailer, and it looks absolutely insane and looks very up my personal alley of just hey, here's a bunch of ideas that we had, and we're just gonna go with them. So maybe we'll check that out in the future. PlayStation Plus announced their games. The 2 games available on PS4 this month are Mafia 3 and Dead by Daylight. So a pretty good month for both PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Games with Gold. Talked about those in last week's episode. So pretty good month for as far as free games are concerned. I mean, Mafia 3 is not great, but it has an interesting story. Maybe they've patched it to the point where it's better, but I don't know. I played it, I think I played that game release week and then never touched it again because the gameplay loop isn't great. The story and the characters are absolutely fantastic, but the gameplay isn't there. It's hard to push yourself through it. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Week in Review. As always, leave a comment down below while you're there, letting me know what you're excited for. Reptar, you fell. That's not fun. Why are you so unbalanced? Okay. Now that Reptar is set, be sure to let me know what you're excited for. I almost knocked him over. Be sure to let me know what you're excited for the upcoming week and in the near future. Obviously, subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to check back every Tuesday for more Week in Review. Say bye, Reptar. Bye. Someone get these kids off the ice. See you next week. You're out of frame.